Hey everybody, welcome to day 40. Day 40. Goddamn, we made it 40 days of my mental health journey. Thank you for everybody who's tuned in and supported the channel. You know who you are, and I appreciate it. And shout out to all the future people who take the time to check this out, and hopefully you guys get something from it as well. I certainly have, and I hope you guys have too. So that being said, today, I almost forgot. So for those of you who aren't aware of kind of the whole channel and everything, basically I document my day-to-day ups and downs with mental health, mainly anxiety, just with the hope of connecting with folks who are going through similar stuff, as well as using this channel as a platform for folks for whom I can't speak or are going through stuff that I haven't been through, to share their stories and hopefully connect with other people in the process. So today, oh, my finger just went in the camera, but we're not going to stop recording because we've already been recording for a minute now. Today, I just want to talk about the reality that, and I'm speaking for myself here, but it's a universal thing. The idea that you can't run away from your problems and the importance of facing your problems and recognizing that that's going to be how you ultimately heal and become a more wholesome person. And when I say wholesome, I don't mean like, Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood or something like that. I just mean like you feel more solid with yourself. You could still be a jackass like I am, but you just feel better about yourself, and it, translates into your daily life. So I read this quote when I was meditating last night. It was like a guided meditation or whatever. And I felt like it really kind of encapsulated that feeling that I'm talking about. But we do not meditate to find happiness, but rather to understand our suffering. In understanding our suffering, we discover happiness. So it's the idea that you can't just run away from your suffering and just think that, if I meditate, it's like I'm putting a bandage on it. Like the meditating is what helps you come face to face with your suffering and understand like, hey, I'm going through something, and, that's not an inherently bad thing, but it just, you got to be aware of what's making you unhappy. And sometimes it's scary to face that stuff because like you don't know like what type of stuff you might find when you finally face all those demons. It might be like 20 different things, but the only way that you're really going to start healing is when you face these demons. And speaking from experience, this whole entire podcast YouTube channel has been created to kind of face my demons and express stuff that I didn't really even internally express. I wasn't really thinking like, oh, I'm anxious right now, or, oh, I feel this way because, these events transpired, and, I've been holding on to these feelings and whatnot. Like I never, in my day-to-day life, I felt like I was always running from those things, insert a girl into my life. And, no disrespect or anything. I just like, when I say that, it's not like they're a bandage or anything, but just, I would have girls in my life, and I just felt like I wasn't, a whole person yet. And it's not fair to somebody else if, you're not a whole person. And even if it's just like a thing, it's not like an actual relationship. Like I want to be the best version of myself. And a lot of times I felt like I was just jumping into things because it like helped me forget about the stuff that I was going through or whatnot, or I could focus on somebody else, even if it wasn't like something that I was like super into. It was just, something that allowed me to kind of not focus on the stuff that was causing me so much like pain and anxiety and whatnot. Same thing, like I felt like I was sometimes drinking too much, or isolating myself too much. Like it was a lot of different things. So I just want to make sure that like nobody takes that as a matter of disrespect. I'm sure that it happens in both ways, but it was never anything like that. But I definitely noticed that like I would try to sometimes insert other folks into my life as a way to kind of forget about my own problems. And, even if it feels like good initially or whatever, or you're not thinking about that, your problems are always going to resurface at some point, whether it's, 2 months from now or 20 years from now. So until you really come face to face with said problems and deal with it and understand that, happiness comes from when you are able to like confront what is hurting you and understand it, versus like, oh, I'm still suffering from depression, but I got a job raise or something, or, you're still going to be depressed. Like until you face that anxiety or depression and whatnot, either via medicine or some sort of therapy, and just understanding that it's going to be a process. It's not like a, one-time quick fix type deal. You're always going to have that baggage kind of wearing you down and weighing you down. And that's just something that I've kind of come to the general conclusion of recently. And doing this channel and everything, and really just actually talking to people and being more candid about how I'm feeling, and not just lying and saying like, oh yeah, everything's good, everything's great, when I damn well know it's not. I feel like it just kind of changed me as a person. I feel more comfortable in my own skin, because I don't care if people know that I go through stuff, because I'll be the first one to tell them, like, and if they judge me for it, like, go to hell. Like, I'm not going to waste my time on you, and I'm not going to like try to antagonize you or anything, unless like you're super disrespectful. But like, it's just one of those things where you really, until you come face to face with your demons, or whatever you want to call them. I sometimes think that calling them demons, it might be a little, I won't say dramatic, but just a little negative at least. It's not a demon necessarily. It's just, you're going through something and you have yet to confront it, or at least maybe not confront too, because that implies like violence and stuff or whatever. But for me, confront's fine. But if for somebody else, maybe you could just say, like, I haven't tried to understand what's been causing me to feel certain types of ways, and kind of list out the ways you've been feeling. But yeah, that was just, I've come to realize that over these like 40 episodes I've done, like, I just really feel a lot more comfortable in my own skin. I feel like I understand kind of what I'm going through more. And, I'm tending less to rely on other things to get that sense of happiness. But just by like, when I said that this all kind of popped into my head doing meditation, like I also just read the quote, like, meditation itself is not going to like make you happy or something, but it's going to give you the tools to kind of face certain things you're going through. And then when you face them and kind of get an understanding of how to either work with them or to, surpass and overcome them, that's like when you truly find happiness. So it's definitely a process, but it's a worthwhile process. And, I'm nowhere close to being like finished with it, because I view it as a lifelong process. But I'm just excited that I feel like I'm moving. Like, felt kind of stagnant as far as my mental health was going for, a long stretch of time, like pretty much my whole life. So it's like kind of turning a new leaf in a new era in my life. And, there's been some ups and downs, and obviously we got the quarantine going on. There's a whole lot of social unrest for obvious reasons. Whether it just be due to the economic situation, which is kind of improving, or, the way that minorities such as Black people and brown people have been treated in this country for a long time. Like, there's a lot of reason to be upset, but I'm trying to keep that in the forefront of my mind, but also keep my own mental health in the forefront, and just recognize that I'm gonna have to do this stuff on the daily to really just stay on point and stay focused. Obviously not beat yourself up if you don't meditate, one day or 2 days, or even if you don't do it for a week. Like, I didn't do it for like a week, and I haven't really been making that many videos relative to what I was doing, but I just feel like that's the natural progression of things. Like, I had so much on my mind, for the first like 25 days or whatever, that I made 25 videos in 25 days. I think I made like 26 actually. There's like a day that I made like 2 videos. But it's just the natural, progression of things. Like, I'm sure that you guys kind of see that I feel more comfortable when I'm talking. Like, I never use any notes or anything unless it's like a quote that I don't want to butcher. But it just kind of goes to show you that, you just keep working on yourself. You keep staying consistent, and you're willing to kind of just be like, hey, like, I'm not feeling that great. Why am I not feeling that great? What can I do to feel better? And what can I do that's healthy to feel better? That's the main thing. Because like, as I referenced before, I had my methods for trying to feel better, whether it be companionship or alcohol, or, isolation, not hanging out with people, just kind of generally being like a hermit. But I know that that's not going to help me in the long run. Like, I got to be the best version of myself first, and the best version of myself will come through, facing my fears, my anxieties, whatever you want to call it. And then, finding a coherent strategy to move forward and to uplift other people in the process, because it's not just I'm not the only one who's going through it. Like, everyone's going through it. So I just encourage you to reach out to your friends. I encourage you to work on yourself, to focus on what your goals are, to understand like what might make you feel down or whatever, and then try and come up with a good strategy to alleviate that pressure. But it's not going to occur overnight, but it'll be worth it. I can assure you of that. And I'm not finished the process. I'm just, a little further along than I was 40 days ago when I first started this whole journey. So anyway, guys, I will post this later tonight. 2 in a row. So yeah, I'm back on my shit now. But anyway, guys, I just want to reiterate, thank you so much for the support. I'm not stopping anytime soon, even if 0 people watch the episodes, just because I feel like it's really helped me. However, I've definitely gotten great responses from other folks. So I want to keep doing this for all of us. And until next time, guys, I hope you have a great day.